You spend hours trying to craft the perfect email. You finally nail it. You hit send and you're looking at your open rates and it's sitting at a big fat 0. And you can't help but wonder why your email list is ghosting you. If that is you, no need to worry. I'm going to tell you why no one's opening your emails and, more importantly, how to fix it.
There's no stopping me now. I know my shot should sit down. Money's all over me. I'm called to be rich and be free.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am 𝗪𝗲𝗍𝗂𝗏, your go-to business operations strategist, here to help you grow your business through people and processes. This is Inbox Invasion. This is a brand new series that I am bringing to my channel that is all about your email marketing strategy and how to fix common email marketing mistakes. So in this video, we are going to be talking about email open rates and what to do if no one is opening your emails. Before we can get into how you can actually fix this problem, let's start by addressing the elephant in the room and why you're probably having this problem in the first place. So first things first is there's likely 3 core reasons why your open rates are very low and no one is opening your emails. The first one is going to be that your email subject lines are probably falling flat like a 1 egg pudding at a church bake sale outside in July, okay? And so they're really just falling flat and they're not resonating with your readers. And the second reason that no one's probably opening your emails is going to be that your sender name is probably unfamiliar to them. And then last but not least, your emails are probably landing in the wrong place. So there you have it. Those are the 3 most common reasons why people are most likely not opening your emails. Now that we know what the problem is, let's get into some solutions. But first, let me know down in the comment below this video what your current email open rates are. So fun fact, industry standards for email open rates can be anywhere between 20 and 25%. But of course, depending on your industry, this number could actually go up or it may slightly dip a little bit. So even if your open rates are around the 20, 25, 30% mark, this is typically the industry standard, but there are some things that you can do in order to increase your open rates significantly. So let's get into what some of those things are right now. So tip number 1 to boost your open rates is going to be your subject lines. Listen, I say this all the time. Your subject line is, your emails are like a funnel and the subject line is the top of your funnel. If your subject line is not compelling enough to get people to open the email, it does not matter how good your emails actually are if no one even opens it to see how good it is. So you want to start with an attention grabbing subject line that's compelling, it's curiosity boosting, that actually gets people to not be able to resist clicking on it to open your emails. So let me give you a couple of tips that can help you with crafting better subject lines. First things first is you want to keep your subject line short and punchy, ideally between 6 to 8 words. Next, you want to make it curiosity boosting. So this could be having a email subject lines like "you won't believe what happened," right? Or "my secret strategy for doing XYZ." And so this is going to compel people to want to open the email to figure out, well, what actually happened, right? Or, well, what's your secret, or what is the hack, right? So when you have a curiosity boosting headline, people are going to be more compelled to want to click through to see what the secret is, what the hack is, what it is that they're not going to believe. In addition to this, you want to make sure that you personalize your emails. You can add their name into the subject line to make it stand out. And then last but not least, something that you can do to stand out as well is adding emojis into your subject line. Now, I know some people feel different ways about using emojis, so So it really depends on your audience. Is your audience someone who is more likely to gravitate to an email if they see an emoji or not? This is something that you want to consider. Oftentimes, using emojis can help them to stand out more. All right, so while we're talking about your subject line, I also want to mention being able to perfect your preview text. So the preview text is simply the text that kind of lets people know what content is inside of the email. It gives them a little preview of what's to come inside, right? And so depending on your email service provider, some of these I know like Flowdesk has a 90 character limit, but other platforms like ConvertKit, formerly known as ConvertKit, right? They allow up to 150 characters for your preview text. So this allows you to actually customize that text that is going to be shown when you actually send your email. And this is another way for you to double down on the curiosity boosting, making your content compelling to further entice your audience to actually open your emails. All right. So when you create your compelling subject line, make sure you also create compelling preview text as well. Now, let's get into something else that you want to make sure you have in place so that you can boost your open rates. And this is going to be your send from email address. So your sender name is very important, and you want to make sure that your name is familiar, it is professional, and it is trustworthy. Okay. So you want to make sure that when you send emails, you will have a send from name that pops up. So for example, when someone gets emails from me, they will get an email that says 𝗪𝗲𝗍𝗂𝗧, or depending if it's coming from like my brand, if they bought a product or something, then it will say 𝗪𝗲𝗍𝗂𝗪. And if it's a customer support email or something like that, it may say 𝗪𝗁𝗏 support or support@𝗪𝗁𝗏. So you want to make sure that your sender name is not only consistent across different platforms, but that it is going to be familiar and recognizable to your audience. You don't want to send emails and every single time you send an email, it's coming from some random name, or it's generic, or maybe you operate under your personal name on all of your social media platforms, but then when people get emails, it's under your business name or an unknown name that they're not familiar with. This is all going to tank your open rates. And not only that, when it comes to your email address that you're using, the send from name that you have, the more emails you send, then you kind of get this rapport, or this I forget what it's called. You basically have like a spam risk score, right? And so as you send more emails, if emails are going unread, they're going to spam, people are marking your emails as spam and complaining, this is actually going to impact your complaint score, your spam score. It depends on the email service provider. They call them something different, but a lot of email service providers, if you get a certain amount of spam complaints, then they will block you from their service. So you want to make sure that you're being mindful of the sender name that you do use in your emails, because this can help prevent your emails from going from spam, and then also make it familiar and recognizable for your actual audience. And since we're talking about spam, this is actually going to take me into the last tip for how you can increase your open rates. And this is all about making sure that your emails actually land in your reader's inbox and not in their spam folder. So the first thing that you can do to make sure your emails land in the right place is you want to authenticate your email. So in order to do this, you want to make sure that you have your, I call them DKIM and DMARC. It's like DKIM and then DMARC. But basically, this is a setting that you need to make sure you configure for your email address. It does need to be a professional business email address to basically say where you are going to be sending emails from. And depending on your email service provider, they should have instructions for how you can actually set this up to make sure that your emails have been authenticated. And I want to say, as of like last year, January, February of 2024, a lot of email service providers like Outlook, Yahoo, Gmail have made it mandatory for businesses to authenticate their emails in order to continue successfully sending emails to their audience. So make sure you authenticate your email, okay? Depending on your email service provider, they should have clear instructions for you to follow for how you can actually do this. Now, in addition to authenticating your email, something else that you can do to help make sure your emails land in the right place is to not have spammy behavior. Now, I know spammy behavior can be subjective, especially with the amount of cold emails that people are sending, and that's a whole story for another day. I ain't even gonna talk about cold emails because baby, I'll be ranting for a minute. But you wanna avoid spam behavior. So something that could be seen, I've heard people say things like saying free or act now and things like that in emails is seen as spam. But I have not seen that in my own business with the emails that I've sent. I have not noticed that when I use free in a subject line, or if I use act now, or if I put a money amount in there, that triggers that the email could possibly be spam. But I have seen other people say that they do, but I just don't have any evidence of that. But you do want to avoid having like multiple links that go to multiple different destinations. So for example, if you have an email newsletter and you're telling people to go read your latest blog and you have 3 different links in there, but they all link to the same blog post, then that is not going to be a problem. But let's say you're sending like a weekly roundup email and you're linking to 10 different blogs, then that may actually cause your email to be seen as spam because there's so many links and all of the links are directed to a different destination. So in that situation, I have known people to have their emails flagged as spam because they have multiple different links. So next, when it comes to making sure that your emails end up landing in the right place for your readers in their inbox, you want to encourage replies with your emails. So typically in emails where you don't have any other call to action, you're not sending them to a blog post, you're not sending them to a sales page, you're not sending them to like your social media or whatever, then in those emails, I typically like to make a best practice of just saying, hey, if you enjoyed this email, hit reply and tell me, you know, something about related to that email. Reply and tell me what you would do, or reply and let me know if you found this valuable or whatever. But I try to make a habit of having, when there is no call to action, the call to action is just to reply to this email. The more that your users actually reply to your emails, you're building that history with them, the more likely emails are to continue to land in their inbox. Now, the last tip that I have for you when it comes to making sure that emails land in the right place, this is going to be just making a habit of when you have your lead magnets and people are opting into your email list, in that first welcome introductory email, delivery email where you're giving them their lead magnet, whatever, you want to make a habit of just telling them, hey, if you want to make sure you get our emails, make sure you whitelist this email or whatever your primary send to or send from email address is. And so that is going to drastically increase the chances that the emails actually land in their inbox and that they see it, and that is further increasing your open rate. So there you have it, you guys. Those are the tips that I have for you for how you can increase your open rates. Let me know down in the comments below this video if you found this video to be helpful. If you enjoyed this and you want to see more videos in the inbox invasion series, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on those notifications so you will be the first one to get notified anytime I upload a video like this, okay? Thank you so much for stopping by my internet home. I will see you in the next video.